Yesterday, I officially became homeless. My roommate and her boyfriend are fucking psychopaths. Well, okay, she said she used to be a lesbian, but then she found God, so she stopped.
So there's still hope for you, buddy.
So I think, yeah, hope so. He's this like 40-year-old white bimbo who like used to date what we think was a drug dealer. She wasn't sure. He literally died of cancer, and he had so much money. She'll be like, he spent every last dollar he had on trying to get better. Like she says in the most like Elle Woods way, like, yeah, one time he tried to kill me.
Welcome to One Night Stand-Up Comedy. Tell us your sexy stories. I'm Alfie, Rosselli.
And I'm Rebecca Rochon.
And this is a show where you tell us your wildest, funniest, weirdest, sexiest dating stories.
Be sure to DM us on Instagram for a chance to be featured. And absolutely no dick pics.
And be sure to like, comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel.
All right, so today's episode.
Today's episode, as you can see, we're not in our bedroom. We are in Florida. Sunny Florida. That's why I got my Dolphins shirt on and my shoes in the house, because we're in America.
Just check out our last video about our life update, and you'll get more information about why the F we're in America. For today's episode, we have a very fabulous guest, Khalil, who is a hilarious freaking comedian.
Today's story is very funny because this is gay drama, which I love.
Yeah.
So this could have ended in a threesome, maybe a foursome, but things got flipped around and turned on its head, and not in a sexy way.
Typical gays, making it even more complicated. And we'll hear from our favorite one now. Khalil, welcome to the show.
All right.
Welcome, Khalil.
Welcome,
What are you
Khalil.
Khalil? I know we want to talk about your story, of course, but I also, you had some news for us, some dramatic story about last night of some other people, some gossip.
Some hot goss. What's the tea, bud? What's the tea?
Yesterday, I officially became homeless.
Why?
My roommate and her boyfriend are fucking psychopaths. So, okay, the relationship has been kind of problematic from the beginning because she's this like 40-year-old white bimbo who like used to date what we think was a drug dealer. She wasn't sure. Then he died. He literally died of cancer, and he had so much money. And it's so funny. She'll be like, he spent every last dollar he had on trying to get better.
Selfish.
Damn shame. Like, and then she's like so nonchalant about it because he's like she says in the most like Elle Woods way, like, yeah, one time he tried to kill me. Just so like I was just like, what the fuck?
What was
Okay,
it?
so problematic is legit.
What
in this
what
case.
did he do? How did he try to kill her?
So she was being cheated on, and they were kind of in an open relationship but resented it. So then she's like, she knew that he was cheating, so she's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna cheat on him too. And then he found out that she cheated, and then he almost choked her to death. Well, okay, she said she used to be a lesbian, but then she found God, so she stopped.
Yeah. So there's still hope for you, buddy.
So I think, yeah, hope so. Yeah. She's like, I don't even like sex that much. So I think she's just like a genuine lesbian, but just like, you know.
But like, there's not that many lesbian sugar daddies, so she has to.
But if she's a lesbian, why would she go for a choker?
Well, I don't think the choking was consensual.
Oh, okay.
No, but he seems like he's like hard to be around.
Well, because like he was giving her money.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
sugar daddy
right,
thing.
right,
He was
right.
very rich.
Okay, I missed that. I don't know how I missed that.
So anyway, okay, cute. She's dating this guy now. She's born again Christian. She's like, I'm not having sex till I get married. And then of course she like dates this guy who's like a bum. And then she's like, oh, he like had sex with me. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, I thought you were going to do it to marriage. She's like, I know. And then so she ended up like actually following through. And then he ended up proposing to her conveniently after. And it's like, are you stupid? Like, you just told him you're not fucking him until you get married, and then he proposed to you? Like, I wonder why he wants to marry you.
I never understand those ultimatums.
People have gotten married for a lot less worse reasons.
And then she finds out he has 2 children.
Oh, wow.
Is she gonna go through with it?
Huh?
Was that the final icing on the cake? Was that the final straw for her, or is she still going through with this?
She stayed. If anything, I told her, I was like, he's a bad dad. He's a deadbeat. His kids live somewhere else, like 8 hours away. She's like, well, they live out 8 hours away. Like, when is he going to see them? I'm like, on the weekends. And she's like, well, when is he going to see me? And I was like, you're literally fucked. She's so fucked up. And then she like blames the mom. She's like, well, she doesn't want him to see them, or like she moved them away. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like,
So then what happened?
Yeah. So cue to me yesterday coming home to like change whatever, get myself ready for the evening. And I walk in and they're both there. So I'm like, hey, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And then I like go into my room, and then he gets like a call, I think, from he gets a FaceTime from his baby mama. And he's talking to his kids, being like, hey kids, like, I think one of his sons got like a haircut. He was like being, shitty dad on the phone, being like, what a great haircut, buddy. And then she's getting visibly annoyed for some reason. And then he like finishes the conversation with the kids, and then I'm still in my room, so I'm just like eavesdropping. And then she's like, oh, why did she FaceTime you? And he's like, because my kids wanted to see me. And then she's like, oh, well, she's never FaceTimed you before. Usually it's just a call. He's like, yeah, because my kids asked to see my face. Like, she's just being psycho bitch.
Yeah.
For some reason.
Like she
just found out about this family.
No, I think it goes deeper than that. I think she's insecure. So you're FaceTiming your ex. Yeah, my ex was crazy and a cheater. So now I think you're cheating on me. Who is this bitch on the screen? The mother of my children. Why do you need to talk to her? Because she's the mother of my children. Well, who are these kids?
You hit the head on the nail. That's exactly it. Nonchalantly, my roommate's like, oh, I forgot to buy you juice, because she took one of my drinks from the fridge. I said, oh, just like get me this juice next time you're at the store. We'll probably even. I was like, oh, no big deal. Because it's been weeks. I never really cared anyway. And then all of a sudden her boyfriend jumps in, like comes at me. He's like, I thought you said you didn't want anything. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, explaining to him, I was like, oh yeah, like we had that conversation. And she's like, yeah, relax. And then he goes off, and she's like, well, apparently Andrew got the message, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, you're just being like a leech, and like you never like are like doing what you're supposed to do in the apartment. I'm just like, what? I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, go to your own like apartment, you grown ass man. Like, I pay rent here. So I just didn't say anything. And I just like, he gets up and leaves. And then she's there, and I'm like, yo, like, that's not cool. Like, he's not allowed back here anymore. And she's like, I'm sorry, can you just not pile on right now? I'm like stressed out. And I'm like, for fuck's sake. So whatever, I end up leaving. And then I just text her my like 30-day notice, but I don't want to stay there anymore. She literally had to contemplate breaking up with him because I had a court date, like a couple weeks ago, whatever. And depending on how that sentencing went, like she was like, oh damn, we might not be able to get married.
Wait. What was it about? What was the court date about?
She wouldn't tell me the details because she wasn't even supposed to tell me in the first place. I think he like beat somebody up or something. Anyway.
Well, let's get into your story. I'm sorry you're homeless. But...
Yeah, sorry about you being homeless and from immigration. It's a black eye on Canada when the guy in charge of immigration doesn't have a home. You're setting a bad example of people coming into the country, Khalil. You need to get a home. That's the hope you're giving to people coming into the country. It's like, where do I live? I don't know. I don't even have a place to live.
It's impossible.
It's impossible with these rent prices. I don't know what you're gonna do. And once you find somebody, they're crazy. So look out.
Like you're better with the Taliban than in a Vancouver rent.
Those are the emails you're sending back to people wanting to come in.
Don't bother coming. The real terrorists are landlords.
Don't bother coming. You're better off with the Taliban. These white bitches are crazy over here.
Yeah.
All right. Tell us about your story.
Okay, so I think it's interesting how we met because it was the first day that I was in Vancouver, and I like hopped on Grindr as I do, and I messaged this guy, and then right away, the weird part was he was like cute, and right away he was like, oh, hey, blah, blah. I told him, I was like, oh, I literally just moved here today. He's like, oh my God, like, how is that? Do you know anybody, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no. I was like, like kind of lonely. And he's like, oh, like if you're lonely, come hang out. Like, come by my place. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird. It happened too quickly for him to be like a normal person, but I had nothing to do. So I went and I was pleasantly surprised. It was a really great evening. Like just watched like shitty reality TV, hung out, drank, and then like stayed the night. Next morning. Like,
wait, did you guys sleep together? Did you hook up? Did you guys hook up?
We hooked up. Like we made out. It wasn't like anything like No
full
one
on.
came.
No one came.
No, there was no
Okay. Well, that's an interesting build-up. So no one came, but there was some blue balls involved. So the next time you come together, it's just like, okay, sparks. It's happening, right? So there's that anticipation.
So whatever. Then this is now the second time we're hanging out. We are like walking up Davie. We don't know what's there. We go to this one bar called Pump Jack that doesn't serve food, and we were planning on like eating and grabbing something to drink. And they were like, "Fuck, there's no food here, but like whatever. We'll have a drink or two and then find some food."
Right.
Cue to like, okay, we're like having some drinks. Like these other guys start talking to us. Whatever. One drink turns into like 5. I'm absolutely obliterated because I hadn't eaten that day. Like this one guy was like, "Oh, do you guys want to come back to like my place and like, you know, hang out and have some drinks and like still kind of party?" So I was like, well, "Yeah, fuck yeah."
Yeah, new in town. You want to meet some people? This is like exactly what you wanted.
Exactly. So it's like perfect. So then we go back to his place, partying it up. I go to the bathroom and then I come out of the bathroom and then I notice my date making it with another guy there. And I was like, you know what? Like that's no, but like I was like, you know what? I'm gonna be chill about it. I'm gonna be cool. Like, am I a little annoyed? Yeah, but like ultimately I thought I was going home with him, so I didn't really give a fuck. Like,
but now it's like this too. So like, was the other guy good looking as well?
I was fine. Like I wasn't interested in like a 3-way, but like I'm also not like a possessive person.
Yeah.
So I didn't really. I was like whatever.
Yeah.
And then,
so you're like, okay, maybe this twosome can turn into a threesome.
So then I meet him out on the balcony when he's alone, and then I was like, okay, like this is my time to make out now.
Yeah.
And he fucking ducks me.
Whoa.
Wow.
How did he do it?
Like, huh?
How did he do it? Like, so he's on the balcony, you kind of leaned in.
I like went for it, and he just like backed off, and I was like,
oh.
That's aggressive.
I was so embarrassed. I was like, fuck this guy. Like,
yeah.
Especially because you've made out before. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. So then, whatever. He didn't say anything. I didn't say anything either. Then I was visibly pissed. And then he asked me like what was wrong, and I just like kind of like walked off and went to go talk to somebody else. And then while I'm talking to somebody else, I like make a grand gesture in my sentencing. I don't know. And I like knock over someone's beer. They overreacted to like, and then my dad was like, okay, you're too drunk. You're going home. And then we go downstairs and he's like, what's wrong? I'm like, nothing. It was fine. And he's like, okay, how are you getting home? And I was like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to walk or like figure it out. And then he's like, no, like, how are you getting home? And he's like, oh, I'll get you an Uber. So I'm like, whatever. I'm there all pissed off. I get into the Uber, like completely like ignore his goodbye. So anyway, like the next day, he like sends me a text message and apologizes. And he's like, sorry, I was fucked up. And then it's fine. And then we like we start hanging out again and then like hooked up. And then I wasn't sure what was going on, but like we kind of like started like hanging out a lot. And we like made this mutual friend and it became a group. And then like, then one day I just like have a conversation like, hey, like what's happening? Cause like, we're not consistently hooking up, but like something feels like whatever. And then he's like, oh, like, you know what? Like, I don't like think I'm interested in pursuing that right now, but like, I'm definitely down to like, just like be friends with benefits. I was like, okay, cool. That's fine. And then I was a dumb bitch because in my mind, I was like, okay, well, like, you know, maybe if I just like ride the wave, we'll like see where this goes. And little did I fucking know, like maybe 2 months later, he'd always like reference going to Peace Arch Park because he was born in the U.S. and he had friends in the U.S. and he'd meet them at Peace Arch. They were like lived in Seattle. Right. And then one day he was like, oh, you should come hang out with them and they'll get us like Chick-fil-A and like all this American food that we can't get. Yeah. I was like, oh, that sounds fucking awesome. Fucking love Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, well, that's what I've noticed. So like people always say like, oh, Americans are so fat. Like we judge them from Canada. Like
food is delicious.
Yeah, it's like if we had that food, we'd be fat too. Like if we had a Chick-fil-A, we'd be fat. I remember In-N-Out Burger came to Vancouver. It came out. They had a spot out in Surrey.
Really?
And there were 2-hour lines for it, for In-N-Out Burger.
So why did it go away?
Well, they just did it for a day. It was just like this weekend we're having In-N-Out Burger, and everyone just swarmed there in droves. Where it was like a 2-hour wait.
20 pounds in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah,
here.
we're in the States with like Chick-fil-A, yes, In-N-Out, yes.
Excited to visit you guys in Austin. We're hitting every fast food restaurant.
Yeah, and there's a lot of barbecue.
A lot of barbecue.
Oh, so good. And so, just in case people don't know, Peace Arch is this like random park that has the borders kind of loose, I guess. And so Canadians and Americans during the lockdown.
Like a neutral zone. Yeah, people from both sides can come and just chill there. During the pandemic, people would put up tents to fuck in.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because it was the only time that they could meet their significant other.
Oh.
If your significant other was a supporter, yeah. So so he brings in a Peace Arch one day to like meet these friends. So I go meet these people, whatever, they're nice enough, and then all of a sudden, the one friend like looks at him and is like, "Oh, I love you," and he's like, "Love you too," and I was like,
okay.
Oh, so he was in a relationship with the guy. So he's in this relationship.
This is where I'm finding out. So I asked the guy, I was like, "Wait a minute," I was like, "Oh, are you guys together?" He's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Wait, like, what do you mean?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we met back in like Jacksonville because he's from Florida, and like we've been like together for like a year and a half now or whatever it was," and I was like.
And he didn't tell you?
No, I should have told him. I was like, I've literally been I've been hanging out with this kid for like every day in the summer for the past like 3 months now. Yeah. And he has not mentioned you once. And I didn't say that in an insulting way. I'm just like, just to let you know, like you don't exist in
oh shit.
No one knows about you.
Oh.
Like,
look at you. Oh, Khalil. Just stirring the pot. Stirring the pot.
Wow. He brought me there knowing that it was gonna come up.
Yeah.
Well, I want you to meet somebody. It was the love you part. So were you privy to it until the love you part? So you hung out for a while.
And he just never brought up that he had a boyfriend.
Never. The word friend was used. He's like, "It's my friend."
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
He explicitly lied, and I was like, "Wait." And then I was like, I said to him, "I was like, well, okay, well, if you didn't want to date me, why would you?" I don't care if because they were in an open relationship, so he was never cheating.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, I don't care that like he's hooking up with people," and I was like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Right.
So why would you lie to me and not tell me you have a boyfriend if you didn't want to date me in the first place? Like, what would it matter? Because he's like, "Oh, then I thought you wouldn't like me anymore or anything." I'm like, "Buddy, I don't like. We were just when you established we were just gonna be friends with benefits. I don't give a fuck what you're doing."
Yeah. So did you know what you were doing with that comment?
With what comment?
This guy never brings you up. This guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I was just like, "Hey, yeah, that's not cool."
Oh
no,
okay.
Yeah, it's not. They can't. It's like, oh,
I love you too, and like you're talking about like your future together and stuff, and you're not like telling people. It's not even on your dating apps that you're in a relationship. Like that's so like people aren't signing up for that, and that's why I was pissed off. It's like I went on all these dates with you and caught these feelings under false pretenses. If I had known you had a boyfriend from the beginning, I would have had a different mindset going into like hanging out with you.
Oh, I guess that was his point when he said you wouldn't have liked me as much.
I wouldn't have I don't care if someone's in an open relationship.
No, I know, but it's a different approach. Like, it's so unfair. And like, it's just like the same thing with your roommate where it's like he had an entire family and he didn't disclose it. Oh yeah, maybe you wouldn't have wanted to get involved in that if you had known. Of course, I think open relationships are pretty common, especially in the gay world in Vancouver.
Absolutely.
So it's still not a given. It's not a given. Like,
you know, honestly, I think every homosexual male couple you see, they are either having sex with a third person together, or they're each fucking people. Like,
sure,
there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I think.
Well, why do you think that is? Why do you think that is?
Because men are just horny.
Yeah.
I think that as well, but also it comes down to a spot where it's just like with male and males, there's no sense of responsibility towards each other. We're married, and then we're gonna start this family together. We're gonna. Yeah. There's always grass is greener on the male mind.
True.
Yeah, there's always like, no matter where I'm in, I could very easily get out of these responsibilities and just start anew when it comes to male on male relationships.
And the grinder thing.
Gay relationships are always open ones because they don't feel obligated to each other. Like it's just it's been a thing of convenience, and then they grow together, but they don't feel suffocated. Right?
Yeah.
Because it's like this person isn't like owning my body or anything. Like it can still like, you know, fuck another ass or you know.
But it also hinders in the sense to where it's just like most relationships always end at the same point with those type of relationships where it's just like once it gets too tough to the point where it's like all the annoying things about myself are culminating and I don't want to fix them. So I'm moving on.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's a good point too. We want to know, what is it that makes a guy fuckable versus friendship material?
I think it just happens. Or like people will tell you like straight up what they're doing. And you just like have that conversation and then you just do that.
Friendship is such a fundamental piece of like a relationship, and there are girls and guys that do, like, there are straight couples that do this too, where they're like, oh, like, this person's too, like, good of a friend, I don't want to hook up with them or whatever. But when it comes to you guys, like, if somebody's like, if you're like a really close friends with somebody and then you have feelings for them, do you like, is it like a tougher risk because you're like, they could be a friend?
It depends on you. For me, I could do that. Like,
Yeah,
me, like,
well, it's a guy thing. I think it's a guy thing there because it's just like that's a woman thing over analyzing. With the guy, it's just like, no, let's just fuck and see what happens. It's just like, you're hot, you're less. It's just like, we'll fix this. Let's just fuck.
They just don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, and it's like it'll be fine because it's like if someone like is like to me like this is never going to happen, like never in your wildest dreams, like fuck off, kill yourself. I'm never going to be with you.
Yeah.
Like, so if we hook up, I won't care because it's like, well, this is never happening anyway. But like, I'll take getting off for free, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. For free.
Why'd you give up on Bumble?
Because okay, well, I'm banned. I'm banned on a couple apps.
Tell us about the banning.
Of course.
I'm banned on Bumble for prostitution because my bio used to be thumbs up for Jesus, DM for nudes. And people used to like be like, oh, I'm DMing for the nudes. And then I would be like, okay, how much money do you got? And I guess enough people got tired of that where they were reporting me. And then I got banned. And then when I emailed them.
Khalil, for the promo, it's just going to be that one line for the promo. It's going to be like, I got banned for Bumble for prostitution. that's just the promo. They're going to have to watch the whole episode to see why. Do you know who reported you?
No, I don't know, honestly. I don't remember.
Did you charge probably someone you charged too much for?
You know what? Bumble was kind of shitty anyway.
And also Khalil, in the gay community, does size matter?
You know what? It does. It does to a degree, for sure. Like, honestly, it's a really hard thing to look past if someone just has like a real, like, I could do like small, but like on like small average, but like a really small dick, like that's a hard sell.
Why is it a hard sell? Like, do you like being a bottom?
No, it's not even about bottoming or topping. It's also like,
Oh.
even if you're topping, it's like an aesthetic thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So if you're doing it missionary topping.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't know, like you're still gonna want to look and like or grab it or whatever. It's just, like,
Yeah.
Or suck it.
if it can't fit in, if it doesn't fit in your whole fist, if like the head doesn't pop out of your fist at least,
Right.
that's a problem.
Oh, okay.
Right. You want to be gagging on it.
Yeah.
Not even that.
Oh, that's just me, I guess.
That's you.
It's a requirement.
That's why it's always
I
important.
want my life to be threatened. Choked to death.
You want to have the mascara running and the potential of tennis elbow.
Look at how judgmental these gays are with their, sorry, our sex is too wild for your gay community, okay?
No, there's a lot of people who can take a lot of abuse in the gay community.
I know, I'm just confused.
Like
I'm just
some of these bottoms get really beaten up in bed, and
Aw.
like, but they
What do you
like
mean?
it.
What do you
It's
mean?
fine.
Like, how do they get beaten up?
Aw.
Like they just like it like extremely rough, like just disturbingly rough.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of women like that too nowadays.
Not me, though.
Yeah. Just the mascara running. But anyway, so what advice what advice would you give to people with small penises?
They should really get together, find each other, pair off and die, get it out of the gene pool.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That is a good point. If you have a small penis, be gay, get it out of the
gay.
gene pool.
Exactly why. Yeah.
There's got to be a surgery for that soon.
A dick extension. A
Yeah.
BBD.
Oh, as if Bezos and Bill Gates haven't been working on that. You think they've just been working on this virus to implode on the world? That's probably why Bill Gates unleashed his virus on everyone. They literally told them face to face, "Hey, listen, we had all the top scientists come together in the world, and we can't make your penis bigger." And he's like, "Fuck it, ruin the world, unleash the virus, unleash the bats."
Yeah, he had a little case, and it was like break-in case of impossibility of a penis extension,
Yeah.
like a vial of COVID-19.
Yeah, that's why Melinda Gates left him. They had that sit down, and he's like, "Listen, it's not getting bigger,"
wow.
and she's like, "Fuck it, I'm leaving."
Aww.
Yeah,
Poor Melinda Gates.
yeah, poor Melinda Gates.
So the advice for men with small dicks: find each other.
Find each other.
I love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Find each other and have sex. Don't find each other and not have sex and plot something very evil. That's also find each other and be gay and fall in love.
Dating is crazy. Dating's crazy everywhere. You have had a
No one's ever not dating.
What do you
You
mean?
know what I mean? Single people are never not dating. I think it's dating's always a matter of convenience. If something's working out, then you just do that until it doesn't.
Oh
Right.
no, I think there's a lot of people that are not having sex, and that's a big problem. I think there's a lot of straight people, a lot of straight men, a lot of females that aren't getting it, and that's why they're very angry online. And that's why they want to watch
That's
the world
the one
burn.
thing you gays have right.
Yeah, so because you're getting late, so you see the world through your scope, so you think everyone's fucking the way you guys are fucking. Where it's like, all right, fine, yeah, I can have sex tonight. There's
No, but
guys,
there-
there's some guys that just haven't been laid in years. They're like going through their 20s, huh? Every stand-up comic.
That's why I've been harassed so much, and that's why all the comedians get harassed and they complain about it. But
no one's hit me up. No one's hit me up. From the scene.
awful.
Yeah, well,
There's not enough gays out
well, it's
there.
because you look like you fuck, and that's a threat to them.
Did you know the reason why there are so many sexless men out there is because and women too, but I feel like women can like do it on purpose for longer, but men are like resenting it every day, right? If that's the case. And so the reason why or one of the crazy statistics out there is that the top 20% of guys on dating apps get 80% of the matches.
Yeah, so the top 20% get 80% of the matches.
Mm-hmm.
So the guys in the top 20, they're the ones getting laid. But there's this 80% of men who can't get any matches on dating apps.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Because right now, it used to be a point where it's just like you're allowed to meet women in the workforce. You know, you work with them, you can meet with them, you can ask them out on dates, and like they can ask you ask out a girl that you work with, she says no, then it's like, okay, whatever. But nowadays, it's like guys are too scared to even ask that, and they can't get matches online. And they don't know how to talk to women, and they're being acutely emasculated. Because girls want a guy to just be confident, and walk up and ask. But a lot of guys might see that as like, oh, I'm coming across as threatening. I don't know if this girl will cancel me for that. So there's a lot of fear involved as well. So there's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna stay home and masturbate.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. You can ask people. I ask people all the time, do you want to make out with me?
Yeah, no, straight guys can't do that to women. Like, that's completely different.
Only if you were like so hot and
Yeah.
you were maybe
Well,
like
that's the
at a
thing.
party and people were drunk.
That's
maybe.
true, but that's the thing.
But that's the thing.
Right
the
now,
top
people don't-
20%
People don't
get-
know how to
Yeah.
read cues. That's because everything has been online. So it's just like right now you can ask that question, but there's a vibe, and that's what I noticed with the gay community. You guys feel a vibe. You guys have that look where like there's this je ne sais quoi you guys have where it's like you see each other at a party. You make eyes. You go talk to someone else, and as you're talking to someone else, you're still making eyes with him. There's like that little dance.
And you know.
Yeah. There's that little dance, but like that's lost in the straight community. They don't do that anymore because parties are very scarce. The bars just there's a lot of shadiness at the bar too. So a lot of women have their guard up at the bar, and rightfully so. So
you get like you get roofied on occasion.
Yeah, you get
so you gotta look out.
So if you're an average looking guy who just has the best intentions, it doesn't want to insult anyone, is just like doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, it's very hard for them out there. I'm very lucky.
But every time you see a girl, you can think every time you see another person of the opposite gender, oh, this is someone I could probably have sex with. If you're a queer person, not every guy I meet, I'm not assuming that they're queer and we can fuck. So you can literally meet girls or guys anywhere. Go to a library. Go to like I don't know, wherever the fuck there's other people.
Guy, where do you think women are? They'll go to the library.
Someone's there, and they need to get fucked. So you're probably right. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Go to the librry. They're there. They need it.
Go to a library where the only person there to protect this woman is this elderly librarian. That's like, no, go to a bar, yeah.
You can meet. There's more people to meet in the wild, so to speak.
Yeah.
Sure.
But everyone likes that story too. You want to meet someone in the IRL. That's always a good story that people like to say.
But we didn't.
We didn't. We met online. The Hinge, the app
On
that's meant to be
Hinge.
deleted.
And we deleted that shit. But
Anyway, that was
yeah.
it was very fun having you, Khalil.
Yes, very fun having you.
Thank you.
Let's
for
let
being
you
on our
enjoy
show.
your day.
I hope the next time we speak, you aren't homeless. We want to follow up.
But you're in a good place for now. Look at that beautiful.